allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, thank you for bringing us together this evening. Please watch over us and provide guidance as we come together as a council to make the best decisions possible for this community. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Drew. Roll call.
Davis.
Here.
Bechtel.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Meadows.
Here.
Cowherd.
Here.
Harville.
Here.
Albert.
Here.
Venable.
Okay. Any questions or comments on the May 5th council meetings or council minutes? And they will stand as submitted. Thank you. Shall we have some hearing of citizens' comments, please? I saw a head go this way. Is there a head that's going to go this way? And she's hiding very well, too. Okay, I assume there's no comments. Consent items. Consider pay app number 6 in the amount of $29,059.55 to Hydrovac of Missouri for lead line service inventory project on page 7. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion we approve this consent item.
Thank you. Second?
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Cowherd.
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Albert.
Yes.
All right, we have presentation of accounts and claims on page 9.
Please note that there is an amended appropriations at your seats. Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries in various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on May 19th, 2025, the sum of $845,630.67. General Fund, $201,812.93. Sanitation, $23,039.58. CIP tax, $156,399.77. Waterworks, $81,621.02. Capital projects, $223,614.09. Wastewater, $53,359.04. Tourism, $12,916.55. Gaming, $92,354.00. Parks and Water, $513.69. Kemper sales tax, $0.00. Economic development projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $845,630.67, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage. First reading on May 19th, 2025, read for the second time this May 19th, 2025, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve the appropriation.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
Okay, do we have a note on the capital projects here?
Yeah, that's the first pay app for the airport project.
Airport, okay.
Great. And then just so you know, in the CIP tax, we purchased the crack sealer. The money's coming out, so it was $91,000.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Davis.
Yes.
Bechtel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Cowherd.
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Albert.
Yes.
Thank you. There is no unfinished business. New business. Heritage Days. Looking on page 10.
Hi, I am Kim Wright, and this is Ross Gordon with me. We are the co-chairs of Heritage Days for 2025.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Roz.
I am the current president of the Chamber of Commerce, and we are here tonight to ask for street closures for Heritage Days. In the past, I think we've done the same thing. On the sheet, we do need to note that Spring Street, we need to close from the alley behind Gordon's to 3rd Street and not 4th Street. We do plan, the only thing different, we plan to have no vendors on Main Street, but food trucks on Main Street facing the sidewalks. That being said, the food trucks would be at the beginning and end of a block, not all the way throughout the block on one side or the other. So we'll kind of alternate those on both sides of Main Street. We are also requesting the city parking lot behind the post office for vendors, and the Kemper Lawn for Kids Day on Saturday only, and also for Saturday evening for the movie in the park.
Okay. Any questions by the council?
You guys have any concerns with the spacing of the parking spaces on Main Street with the food trucks, and they have generators or anything like that?
No, the way I've got it planned out, as of right now, we'll have like, say, one in front of the end of Chestnut and Main, and then one in the middle, or like on the other end of Main and Spring. So like one on each end of the block.
Oh, so
on
are they
both
gonna be
sides.
parking on Main or parking on the side street?
They will be parking on Main
Okay,
and facing the sidewalks so that
I'm
the
with you.
people will not be in the street.
okay. Okay.
But there'll be parking open still, like in front or behind the
Yes.
food truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not requesting to close parking on Main except for those spots.
Okay, thank
Are
you.
they gonna be setting up before the parade, during the parade?
They should be set up before the parade. I believe they're required to set up starting at 8.
Okay.
8:30.
How many total?
I think for Spring, I mean, there's only like 6, or, yeah, 1, 2,
4 or 5.
I've got 6 on my, 6 at most.
Okay.
So like maybe one in front of Rick Mar if they're closed on Saturdays, and then Molly's Jewelry has already said that they don't mind if we put a food truck in front of them.
Awesome. Oh, that's the next question I was going to ask, honestly, is in front of which businesses you might want to give them a
Right.
heads up.
Yeah,
And one will be in front of the city.
yeah,
City Hall.
City Hall.
yeah.
Sounds great.
Kim, Roz, I had one observation. I think everything looks good, but from my previous experience with Heritage Days, on the alley that I often call Rear 6th, where you're going to have vendors on Chestnut from 6th up to Main, that alley, what has done in the past is that's normally used as an emergency route for law enforcement and emergency vehicles. So you might consider just putting some sawhorses just in that little section, because there's no other way to get through
Okay.
back there. I mean, that's what we've done in the past.
Right, just to keep the alleyway
Yeah,
open?
just the alleyway.
Yes,
Just on both sides of
absolutely.
the alley, so if emergency vehicles are
Absolutely.
coming through, they can come down that alley on Rear 6th. So it shouldn't conflict with where your vendors are, but that's the only way that when I've worked with law enforcement before, gives them a path through without having to be on Main Street.
Yes. And then also new this year, the movie that we have is going to be a pyro movie where it is set to fireworks. And we have contracted a licensed pyrotech person to do that along with Spirit of 76.
And that's Saturday night?
At Saturday evening.
Okay. And that'll be in the front lawn or the back?
That'll be, I think it'll be in the front lawn unless we have, I mean, the movie could be in the front lawn and maybe the
The shoot in
the shoot
Okay.
from the
Well,
back.
you guys will
Yeah.
figure that all out.
Yeah, we'll have to have him come down and look at the site, but
Okay.
absolutely.
And what are the dates for Heritage Days?
June 26th is the Thursday night for Mutt Strut, which will be at Kemper, and then the 27th and 28th.
Okay. Great.
So we'll just do sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, on your map here, where you got like drawn out like X's, is that where you envision the food trucks on Main? Or
I-
not X's, it seems like
They're like little blocks.
yeah, the blocks.
Yes, that's what we're
Okay.
thinking at this point.
So just making sure, I know there's a very specific vendor, I don't see one on her side of the street, but, so those are where we see the people being.
That's where we foresee them at this point, yes.
Okay.
But we will ask each merchant before we place anything in front
I
of
know
them.
one was very adamant they don't. Yes.
Yes.
We only have them in front of businesses that aren't open except Molly's, and I've already talked to her. And then the new one, what's her name?
Mama tried.
Mama
Yeah.
Tried.
We may need to move that one because they have some.
She's not open all the time, and I didn't get her contacted,
Okay.
so that one might not be there.
So just a reminder, we'll have them put the placards out, and then you guys will take action at the next council meeting.
Yeah, thanks for all your hard work.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Sign here.
We don't need to take any action on that.
Not today,
That's
no,
correct.
because they'll put the door hangers out, so that if anybody has any comments.
Okay, good. Item 9, reports of standing committees. Excuse me, first reading of bill number 2025-07, approving a final site plan.
So this, all I do is put a salt right here and right here. and we're just gonna go
Clarifying point here.
So it's-
Sorry.
Approving a final site plan at 1921 Legends West Avenue for dog wash kiosk. That's on page 14.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the final site plan for dog wash kiosk located at 1921 Legends West Avenue, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. And please note, we will correct the bill number to whatever it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So noted. All right, item C, consider resolution R 2025-10, authorizing an agreement with C.L. Richardson Construction Company for water and sewer improvements. It's on page 21.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement between C.L. Richardson Construction Company and the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to water and sewer improvements 2025 and providing an effective date therefore. Whereas the City of Boonville has solicited and received bids for this project and determined that C.L. Richardson Construction Company represents the best bid pursuant to the purchasing code set forth in Section 2-20 of the City of Boonville Code of Ordinances. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1. That a certain agreement between C.L. Richardson Construction Company Incorporated and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to the water and sewer improvements 2025, a copy of which is marked Exhibit A is attached hereto and made part hereof is hereby approved. Section 2, that the city administrator and the city clerk are hereby authorized to execute and attest said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 3, this resolution shall take full effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval past this 19th day of May 2025 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we pass this.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion and second. Discussion.
So in this particular case, this was an open bid, and unless there's some extenuating circumstance, we always go with the lower bid, correct?
Yeah. And that's a good bidder. This is what they specialize in.
Okay, that's it. That's all I had, thanks.
Just a point of curiosity, when does this process and project begin?
We asked them at the bid opening. We're looking at the fall. The fall, yeah.
Fall?
But just as a reminder, this is, Poplar, this is the big sewer and water
Fourth.
project. Fourth, Poplar, South, Sixth, and the Jefferson Road extension.
Oh, yeah, Jefferson.
So this is kind of all those trouble spots. This is a good bid number, so good
Is this
project.
not Hickam, or what is that one?
Reams and
Is
Hickam.
it Reams too? Okay.
And then also this will include an overlay over all of that as well. So it'll also the road won't feel so.
I'm sure everyone on 4th Street will be very excited to not have gravel any longer.
A long time coming.
I'm glad that we are making a move.
Yes.
I've dealt directly with C.L. Richardson. They're a
I
good
can't
company.
hear you.
I've dealt directly with C.L. Richardson. They're a good company.
We've done work with them in the past as well, so.
Okay. Do we need a motion for the resolution?
Roll
Roll call.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Harville,
Yes.
Albert.
Yes. Reports of standing committees. Item A, Planning and Zoning Commission on page 23.
We had two pieces of business that came in front of the committee. One was the self-contained car wash, self-serve dog wash to an existing car wash that we have here in town at 1921 Legends. It was unanimously voted to endorse the approval of it. I think first reading was tonight, second reading next meeting. We didn't see any issues whatsoever for the dog wash. There's been a lot of buzz. There was a line of people there Saturday when I drove by and looked at it, so it's out on West Ashley. The second thing that we discussed was the annexation and basically the zoning of the ballparks at 17120 Jackson Road behind Walmart. We did not discuss roads and/or wash or anything like that. The only thing we discussed was the annexation and the rezoning. It was unanimously voted to endorse that we would annex that area into the city and then also zone them as a C-P, which I think is a multi-purpose commercial zoning. Basically just giving them the green light to go do further investigation and getting their engineers involved. So, but both issues were discussed. Both people, both different, representatives for those companies showed up, answered all of our questions, and we felt it was a pretty good move for the city. So.
Good summary. Any questions? Okay. Reports of city officials. Mayor, I have nothing because he summarized the P&Z Commission meeting so well. I have a great deal of enthusiasm off of what we're going to do there. City Administrator.
Just one thing, please mark your calendars. I think we're tentatively planning a work session at 6 p.m. to continue discussions on the Vine Street Apartments with Mr. Hartley. So
What was that date?
June 2nd.
June 2nd.
Next meeting.
At what, 6 p.m.?
6.
Excuse me while I write that down. Okay. City Clerk?
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
Okay. City Councilor?
Just very briefly, I want to expand a little bit on what Councilman Harville spoke about in regards to the ballparks. I had a chance to visit with Kate a little bit. There was an additional tract of ground that was contemplated to be added to that. It's not under contract yet, but remind the council that this is just for the annexation. It has nothing to do with the actual development itself. And there's going to be language that annexation is contingent on closing of the contract. And then lastly, you said you guys were going with CP zoning?
Yep.
Okay. CP zoning is beneficial to the community. It gives a little bit more authority within planning and zoning on how the property is developed. For those that were around when the old Kemper Golf Course was developed and rezoned, it gives a little bit of more authority to the council on what the plan is. So as I indicated in the last meeting, the devil's gonna be in the details with P and Z once they actually, the owners submit their formal preliminary development plan, so hope it all works out.
Quick question on that. Are we looking to approve annexation before we do any of the engineering studies on that?
Yeah.
Does that pose any vulnerability for us?
No, because either way, I mean, it just sort of depends on the developer. Well, once you're annexed, or even if they're happening simultaneously, then you still have to meet all of our standards and requirements. So we prefer it that way as opposed to people doing the development
And then
and then trying to come in, and then
have
sometimes
any
we're stuck
authority.
with
Yeah,
things
okay.
that they might have done that we wouldn't necessarily have allowed. So it's easier this way.
And quite frankly, if we have an opportunity to bring 30 acres into the
Into the
city
city.
limits, and then we have the control over how it's developed,
And text and all the good stuff, great.
Yeah.
It doesn't endanger, do we have a pretty good understanding of roads, sewer, water?
go across all that
All
P
that
and Z.
stuff.
They'll have to present a preliminary development plan. That development plan is gonna have to satisfy P and Z, MECO, everyone else on behalf of the city in compliance with our state, or with
Okay.
our ordinances
Okay.
before we move forward further at all, so.
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you
we've
for
also
that.
just had pre-conversations about their development, so we already know that we have plenty of capacity
Okay,
in that area where we're talking about for development, so.
excellent, thank you.
Good questions.
I have nothing further, Mr. Mayor.
Anything more? Okay, any miscellaneous?
I said one quick thing. Local agency funding applications are due May 30th, so just a reminder on that.
Okay, anything else? Do I hear the motion?
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
I'll second it.
everybody stand up and leave.
Somebody